sister of Jim that we have Lynn, so that's good. And we have my cousins Heidi and Mike on my mom's side, who were very close to my dad, and they both lived. Well, Mike followed Jim into electrical engineering. The fool. And Heidi lived with my parents studying here at college. And then I see Susie, my dad. He loved Susie's sense of humor. And my brothers are here, of course, because. And I see one grandchild, and I see sister-in-law, and an uncle, and a second cousin who would drag my dad. I won't say drag. Took him on super long walks, and another second cousin who lived nearby. We spent a lot of time with. I don't know. We got one grandchild here. I don't know if you knew. We spent a lot of time with these people when we were kids, and we spent a lot of time at Wizard Lake. Unfortunately for us, Carol moved to Sarnia, and so we have a gap in our closeness with Carol's children. And the Ziegelmeyers moved to BC, which was wise. Today is snowing, so I'm gonna just I think when I think about my dad's death, it was expected, but it's always a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Dad went relatively peacefully. It had a bad morning. Chris and Russ had been there in the morning, and then they told us to come back, and so Russ, it was absolutely outrageously cold, so my car wasn't starting, so Russ had to pick me up, and Russ and Chris and I went back, and I walked, in the room. I had seen Dad on Saturday, and he had chuckled in his sleep. I don't know what he was thinking about, but he was in the past. So I talked to his sisters and explained that he's going. And there was some concern that they weren't able to get there. And I'm like, he's not here. He's somewhere in the past with you. So he was somewhere in the past with you when he died. By the time we got back to the room, he was quite peacefully sleeping, and Chris and I could see he was still alive, and Chris was kind of yelling, "We're all with you. Dear Dad, we're with you. We're all with you." I think Russ and I just looked kind of stunned. Like somebody kept just in the face. So thank Chris for doing that. But we did know that this was coming. Dad had vascular dementia. He probably very badly exacerbated by smoking since he was 14. So yeah, that's it was unfortunate, but he also he never wanted to go into a home. He said, "Kill me," instead of putting me in a home. And I said, "Oh man, I'm not committing crimes for you, and I'm not doing jail time for you." But once he got there, he loved it, and he was still quite lucid, and he really loved being there. So we had a place to where he was, where we could visit and bring our dogs, and kind of say our hey Russ. Russ was in charge of parents. seeing him there made me less afraid that I might develop dementia, because he wasn't unhappy, except when he was, unhappy. But he, so
You
that
have to
was,
ask the staff about that.
actually, he wasn't always.
Don't take my fucking fork! Sorry, I know I'm being recorded.
That is true, that's true. And actually, I was in his room once, and somebody came in, one of the staff came in, and he turned and he said, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" And she burst out laughing. So, yeah,
They were used
that
to that.
Jim was Jim. I mean, the rage, when she learned to laugh at it, Russell had a good talk with me when I was having some problems about Dad's rage. I realized going through some pictures on Facebook that Dad had, when Dad first went in at some point, I was told that, it's probably about a year before he passes. And that was in 2020 is when we found out. That's when I said something like I told people that, he probably only has a year. And my dad's goal at that point in his life was just to live longer than his father, just to beat him at something. So
the good news is he thought he was over 100.
he did.
So he won.
In his mind, he did win.
He did win. But he actually did, I think, win, because he didn't die in a year. He lasted 3 more years. Just to... And that's quite remarkable. Yeah, because I could see people were gone. Every time we went, every time we went, we'd see these characters, and the next time we went, they were gone. And, so Dad decided he was over 100. I was going to correct him, and then I was like, no, why? No, just
no point.
Yeah, you are over 100. On Tuesday, January 9th, or the evening of January 8th, he went into the hospital. Because he couldn't swallow, and they weren't sure if it was a stroke, something curable, or whether this was end stages of dementia. And it was the end stages of dementia and all the other problems that come with, growing old, right? And having dementia, which is, growing. So he had pneumonia and blood on his brain and liquid water on his brain, something like that. And it was quite, and we didn't know. We knew it was the end stages, but we had no. The doctor said, "I can't tell you. He could live, he could go tonight, he could go next week. Not in the last month, because he was but I do remember him saying to the doctor, "Now I'm well over 100." And so he did take that. That was pretty good. So he was over 100, so he beat his father. He won at something. I think we all know that after my mom died, he kind of fell apart, and he was never got it together. And he knew what he wanted. He wanted to be with our mother. He knew that. And I lived with him after my separation for far too long. That's a story for my therapist. And and sometimes I would hear him watching something on TV, laughing and going, "Oh, Mother, you would have loved this." Like, "Oh, Rowan, you would have loved this." And he always thought about her. I know he had a girlfriend for a while who was quite, usually pissed off because he didn't want to change anything, and my mom was ever present, which I understand can be pretty hard. But he knew that he wanted to be with her here, where we could easily, see them. He came here a lot and put things there. So that's all I have to say. And Russell, do you have anything?
It's Jim.
Yeah. Yeah. We could all do a Jim laugh now.
Everybody stop your knees.
You gotta stop your knees, yeah. So on that note,
You gotta start coughing kind of.
Yes.
Like me, eh? Yeah.
that's right. Jeez. Yeah, geez. He was a character, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
he always was.
oh my God, the rage thing. When she was a teenager, Dad had to drive her to high school on his way to university. It was really hard on me in 2020 when he became paranoid of me and suspicious of me. And there's Russell's almost home, but with forehead. So, you know, and that is a part of dementia. So it's kind of like it's oddly a bit of a compliment if they start hating you, because they, you know, that happens with the closest people. And Russell said to me, you know, Dad had a lot of rage, and then I was having a lot of problems with that, and I phoned Lynn, and Lynn was going, oh, he was always like that. And she was talking about the drug being driven to, so he was always like this. She's been driven to high school on the way to university, but he was very absent-minded, so he would forget she was in the car and start going towards the university, and she would go, I think you missed the turnoff to my school. He goes, Jesus Christ fucking hell, why didn't you remind me? And then the next time he was going to the next time, you know, she's not being told to remind him. She'd remind him, and he'd go, oh my God, I know you don't have to remind me. So you really couldn't do it.
Unfortunately, my wife is hearing some very familiar behavior patterns.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You don't tell me, I'll forget. If she doesn't tell me, I'll forget. If she does tell me, God damn it, I know. You know?
So,
So.
I know.
Road. There's nowhere to turn around.
No, there isn't.
I know. So you end up at the university and have to go all the way back. Okay, so I think we're gonna have Dad go with Mom.
Yeah.
And go on this
Journey.
into. I hope he's with her. If he's not, he'll find a way. If he has to break down any barriers, he will find a way to do that. Not necessarily the best way. Like his father, he might have to excavate a whole wall to get something that could be taken apart and taken out before demolishing the house. But he will find a way, and he loved his family a lot. He told lots of stories about his sisters, where he nearly got them hurt or something.
Killed.
Yeah.
Blown up.
Yeah. There was, and he loved his nieces and nephews a lot, on both sides of the family, and he, I included the Spellings and there we go. That's Jim. He would have been 88 today. I think that's a pretty good.
And he adored his dogs. Always. Every dog he ever had was the best one in the world.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a story I was going to tell about
He never
that.
swore at the dogs.
Never.
They always got
Cookie
out of
did.
it.
Oh, Cookie
he
was
didn't like
something
Cookie.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like Cookie, but he liked all the other dogs, and he loved them. He had dropped his dog Chuli off at my house so I could babysit the dog, and Russ and Alex were with me taking a load of some crap to the dump, and I got in the truck, and Russ said, why do you have Chuli? And I'm like, I'm babysitting him. He's a dog. He doesn't need babysitting. And I said, Russ, that dog is going to inherit everything. We have been crossed out of the will. It all goes to Julie, so we better be nice to him. And we started chuckling, and Alex started laughing, and then Russ said, you know, it's 50-50. That could happen. So, and he did like all his dogs, yes.
Yeah.
And swearing, and his pipes, and his bronco, and his laptop.
He got his mouth
Cabin.
washed out a lot of times.
And the cabin,
Yeah.
and his face. Okay. So, we're good now. We're going to end. We can, well, everybody's near here. We're going to have a next part of this at the hall. If you want to not go back home and just go have coffee or grab a lunch and go sit in the hall, that's available to you. You have to go through the side door, say you're on the guest list. No, you don't. But that's
VIP pass?
available.
VIP pass.
VIP
What's
pass,
the password? What's the password?
yeah. Cindy sent me.
Yeah.
So you can do that if you want. I know my cousins here from BC have been roped into setting up some things. So they're going to be bringing lunch over to themselves from the fantastic Colombian restaurant across the street. And yeah, so if you guys want to grab your lunches and eat in the hall, that's great. If you want to, I don't even know what time it is.
20 after 10.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, we're a little earlier than I thought. I thought I could talk
Keep
for a
talking.
whole hour. Well, you know, we could dance a little.
You started early, I think.
What's that?
You started early.
We, well, we
We
have a
believe
big
that.
swath of time, so maybe go for coffee. There's no way Marty's going to let us into the hall. That's the event coordinator. She's small and Irish, and I fear her terribly. So, yeah. On that note,
See you at 1.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Or if you want to come in a bit early as family, the sisters and uncles and that, you know, feel free to go a little early and come and sit down and grab yourself a coffee and stuff. They're opening the doors at 12:30 to, and we'll be going in and out the side doors to set up things. Yeah, and yeah, I'm glad you guys came and this
See you
weather.
later.
This weather. You know, we'll
weather,
see you
yeah.
later in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next thing you say is go away.
Go away. Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Get out.
This was all over there.
I've said